the simultaneous pursuit of the best self and the common good. This is the epic endeavor for each Millbrook student. This is the worthy challenge they face. This is exactly as it should be in a community whose motto is non sibi sed cunctus, not for oneself, but for all. Tonight we gather to honor this Millbrook excellence in the class of 2016. Tonight we will recognize those six formers whose efforts, performances, and contributions to the greater good have distinguished themselves and their school. It's now my pleasure to turn to Sienna Buffa and Daniel Correa, current head prefects, to lead the prize night ceremony.
It has been an unforgettable year. As a class and as a school, we experienced highs with accompanying lows. However, in every situation we did what was necessary to carry on with care.
We are confident many would agree that the theme of this year was being relentless in everything that we chose to do. We are proud of our senior class and the way they have led the school all year. Congratulations to the class in 2016.
And now, Matthew J.D. Creda will offer the 2016 Senior Gift Acknowledgement.
On behalf of the members of this year's graduating class, we want to express our sincere appreciation to our parents and grandparents for their special generosity in our honor. The amphitheater on the hillside east of West Hall in the new girls' dormitory is named in honor of the class of 2016 because of the generosity of our families. This physical space offers students and faculty a serene vantage point to enjoy a casual conversation, and it is where outdoor theater and music occur in the fall and the spring. This outdoor classroom is one of Millbrook's unique assets and certainly adds to the school's culture. Thank you to our families for making this possible.
Ms. Anna Steele Norton, class of 2006, will now present the McSweeney Tour Guide Award.
The McSweeney Admission Award was established by the class of 1956 in memory of Edward F. McSweeney. Each year, a member of the sixth form class who embodies the spirit of Edward F. McSweeney through his or her hospitality with visiting families is given this award. This young man or woman must be an exemplary ambassador of Millbrook, embodying Millbrook's core values while conducting tours, serving on panels, or mingling at receptions. As many of you have heard, it was a fantastic year for admissions. To team admissions, this is clearly awesome, but what makes us proud is the role that our current students play in our success throughout the year. This all begins with our dedicated tour guides and our head tour guides that hold this larger group accountable. This year's recipients of the McSweeney Admission Award are Heidi Rice and Elida Konisberger. For 2 years, Elida and Heidi have served as head tour guides and have been outstanding ambassadors of the best high school in the country. For their sixth form year, both girls volunteered as head tour guides because they had other community services, silo editor, dorm leader, prefect, just to name a few. This year alone, these two have given over 30 tours. Now add last year as head tour guides, so that's about probably another 30 tours, then their fourth form year. I think it's safe to say that these two have given well over 100 tours in their combined time. For those of you that count your steps, these two would crush you in a step challenge. With every tour, panel, and reception, each family was impressed by the poise, warmth, and knowledge that these girls demonstrated. Truthfully, families have actually fallen in love with these two. How could you not, right? Elida and Heidi, your roots are deep here. Both have siblings who have graduated, very involved parents, both four-year sixth formers. You could have been satisfied with going through the motions of your final year, but instead you helped organize over 600 tours, 114 revisit families, brought me breakfast sandwiches, and even jumped out of class when you received an SOS I need help text on revisit day. Sorry about that, Mr. Clisby. Your love for Millbrook is contagious, and you embody everything about this award. Thank you for helping us to enroll the future of Millbrook. Your contributions to our office and the school you love will be missed, but I'll keep my seat warm until one of you returns to take my job. On behalf of the admission office, I'm pleased to offer this year's McSweeney Prize to Heidi and Elida.
Now, Mr. Brian P. Krause will present the four-year varsity letter awards, followed by the Frederick W. Knutson trophies.
The four-year varsity letter awards. Established by former faculty member James L. Jordy, this award is presented to any four-year student who lettered in the same varsity sport or sports for 4 consecutive years. I am proud to announce that this year there are 12 recipients of this honor. The award is a testament to each student athlete's commitment and sacrifice. Will you each please come forward when I call your name, and would the audience please hold your applause until the entire group is on the stage. Elizabeth Bluestone, basketball. Sienna Buffa, lacrosse. Daniel Correa, soccer. Julia Freund, tennis. Katarina Gilmore, soccer. Jordan Green, basketball. Sophia Hartman, tennis. Kelsey McAvoy, cross country and hockey. Heidi Rice, squash and tennis. Abigail Sanford, basketball and lacrosse. Tyler Schmaltz, cross country. And Isabel Seaborn, tennis. Congratulations to you all, and thank you for all you have done for Millbrook Athletics. The Frederick W. Knutson Trophy goes to the sixth form boy and girl who best represents what it means to be the most outstanding athletes in their class at Millbrook School. In addition to exhibiting top-notch athletic ability, these students will have shown a commitment to academics, will have played at least 2 varsity sports, and will have demonstrated the integrity, leadership, and character that is fundamental to Millbrook's mission and spirit. Selected by Millbrook's coaching staff, this year's winners of the Frederick W. Knutson Trophy are Brett Melanowski and Sarah Dietrich. Sarah and Brett are both dedicated athletes. In a day and age where so many student athletes are focusing on one sport, both these award recipients not only played 3 varsity sports, but captained each of these teams in their 6th form year. These titles were not for show. Each contributed day in and day out in every season at Millbrook. Sarah, a 4-year 6th former, accumulated 9 varsity letters in cross country, basketball, and lacrosse. Brett, a 2-year 6th former, earned 6 varsity letters in soccer, hockey, and lacrosse. Brett is a truly natural athlete. His remarkable game sense and dedication quickly led to success on the pitch, ice, and turf. His first love is hockey, where he shined over the past 2 years. But he's no slouch in soccer and lacrosse either. Brett became the best positional defender on the soccer team and one of the most gritty, instinctive members of the lacrosse team. Brett, I think it is safe to say that most of us will remember the way you led your teams with passion and that voice, but this award will cement you in Millbrook's history as one of our most talented athletes. When I asked Sarah's coaches for adjectives to describe her, there was not a shortage of superlatives that came back. Among them, driven, committed, and resilient. Sarah did not play on a varsity team during her 3rd form year. However, through hard work and dedication to 3 different sports, Sarah quickly earned varsity recognition the following year and has ultimately become our best female athlete. Whether on the trail, court, or turf, Sarah demonstrates quiet but solid and consistent leadership, and she never rests on her laurels. It is for this reason that Sarah will join Brett as the recipient of this honor. Sarah and Brett, thank you for your commitment to Millbrook athletics. We couldn't be prouder. Best of luck moving forward in your careers.
Ms. Sarah B. McRae will now present the Senior Arts Award, followed by the Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup.
Before I begin my remarks, I want to recognize 5 students who were honored at Arts Night yesterday for their contributions to the theater program. They are Matthew Creta, Andrew Loper, Ariana Montenegro, Jason Sheldon, and Alex Stafford. Congratulations. It is my pleasure tonight to honor a small group of students for their achievements in visual and performing arts. And I want not just to honor them, but to thank them. Really good art is a gift. I hope that each of you has had a chance to be the subject of a good portrait. Maybe it was a full-fledged oil painting on canvas or a simple iPhone picture on Instagram. Maybe it showed you in your favorite vacation spot or with someone you love or doing something brave. The image cannot be separated from the artist, the person who made it, any more than it can be separated from you, the subject. In making the work, the artist gave you the gift of his or her best understanding of you. And this is what art does in its many forms. It gives us the gift of showing us a familiar moment made new. That old Britney Spears song with the Bucciolati twins twist, seeing our familiar stage and theater absolutely transformed by Emma Westerman's dancing as we did last night. Artists of the 6th form, you have given us so much, and we are grateful to you. 6th formers, please stand when I call your names. Audience, please wait to applaud until I finish calling all the names. And at that time, awardees, please join me on the stage. Oliver Kish, Emma Westerman, Alex Van, Alessandro Bucciolati, Olivia Gali, Jackson Lee, Isabella Bucciolati, and Maggie Guo. Congratulations, come join me on the stage. The Ceramics Award tonight goes to the young man whose steady presence has become synonymous with the ceramic studio and whose consistent work has produced many terrific pieces. Congratulations to Oliver. The Dance Award goes to the student who has stewarded the program, advancing her abilities as she encourages others to do the same. Emma Westerman. The Drawing and Painting Award is given to a student who is determined and adventurous. She is unafraid of making mistakes on her way to making excellent work. Alex Van. The Instrumental Music Award goes to a student whose talents are broad and diverse. He plays many instruments as he composes, produces, and arranges new music. He is a prodigious musical talent. Alessandro Bucciolati. The Photography Award is given to a student who found herself in her art at Millbrook, and in turn now has reimagined Millbrook through her art. Olivia Gali. The Printmaking Award is given to a master of intricate etchings who shares his love of the medium with younger students. Jackson Lee. The Vocal Music Award goes to an extremely talented vocalist whose musical gifts are matched by her leadership qualities. Isabella Bucciolati. Maggie and Oliver, you have to come stand by me for these last two awards. The Christian Staley Award for Excellence in Technical Theater is given in memory of Christian Staley, class of 1991. This year we recognize a student who is a powerful problem solver. Oliver makes it work and work well, time and time again. We are enormously grateful to him for his efforts supporting many productions, large and small. Oliver, according to tradition, we give you this award in the form of a varsity letter jacket, custom embroidered with your name on it. Congratulations. We have one last award in the arts tonight, Maggie. The Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup is named for Nathaniel Abbott, longtime teacher and administrator at Millbrook School. This prize is given in recognition of that student whose unique interests have helped shape the arts at Millbrook. My theme tonight is gratitude, and we have much of that for you, Maggie. Gratitude for your work spanning many disciplines in Holbrook, from instrumental music to visual art to art history and back again. And as you zip back and forth from technique to technique, you always find time to give back, to offer notes to vocalists during musical season, to push an art class to a higher level of understanding. And I bet we all remember that gorgeous painting of Abuela from this year's musical. Maggie painted that. Maggie, thank you for your enthusiasm, your talent, your energy, and congratulations on being this year's recipient of the Abbott Cup.
Mrs. Erin A. Downs will now present the English Writing Prize and the English Poetry Prize. The English Writing Prize is open to sixth form students. To be considered for this prize, students submit a portfolio of major pieces which demonstrate the full range of their writing. Several students submitted portfolios this year, and we thank you seniors sincerely for your work, for sharing your work with us. I am delighted to announce the recipient of the 2016 English Writing Prize is Tori Merkel. Tori, your portfolio was fascinating to read. From a fictional story about Bridget and Ricky to an analytical piece about the inevitable growth and acceptance of human existence in Wordsworth's Ode, Intimations of Immortality from Recollections of Early Childhood, your works are razor sharp. You write with a precision and respect for the English language, and in turn, your brilliant ideas read clearly and articulately. Mr. Zeiser describes your analytical writing as meticulous. He continues on to say that Tori's attention to every sentence, both its language and its logic, is unparalleled. Your creative writing is no different. You illuminate time, place, and characters in such a way that we, as your audience, are captivated. I'd like to read a small section of your work of fiction entitled, What's Good for You. Wedged between the biggest suitcase and a clunky garbage bag of shoes, Bridget wonders what the raindrops are expecting when they fall from the sky. When they hit the car window, they always seem to want something. They race down the glass, only leaving a wobbly streak of a path behind them. She watches their determined trip. Two of them are neck and neck, moving swiftly towards the rubber border of the window. One gets stuck in a tiny puddle of older raindrops, disappearing as the other advances down and beyond the window. She can't see it anymore. It might be caught on the rubber to sit there in a puddle just like the other, or it might be continuing down the dark red of the car until it curls around the bottom and finally drips to the street. Bridget grins with triumph when the patter loudens. Soon there is an aggressive cascade slamming and washing across the car. She knew it would rain. Of all days that it could ever rain, it would definitely happen on this day. Tori, for your commitment to the process and craft of writing, it is our pleasure to present you with the 2016 English Writing Prize. The Poetry Prize is open to students in all forms. To be considered for this prize, students are asked to submit a poem that showcases their abilities in verse, imagery, and other poetic devices. 18 students submitted pieces this year, and after careful consideration, the English department would like to award the 2016 Poetry Prize to Reeves Millbank. There is no doubt about Reeves's talent as a poet. As a fourth former, she was selected to attend the New England Young Writers Conference for Poetry, and she is a frequent contributor to the school's literary magazines, The Mill and The Brook. But the truth is, Reeves just loves to write. She experiences the world very much outside the envelope, which allows her to be a great poet. She offers a different perspective on human experience and magnifies for us the richness and power of human emotion. In her poem, Apologies, Reeves masterfully alludes to Emily Dickinson and challenges the purpose and responsibility of the poet. From Apologies. You asked me what words I enjoy and why. Apology isn't one of them, but you told me not to apologize, so I'm sorry. A poem is a poem is a poem is a poem, and I don't actually know what poetry is. And I don't understand, and I'm sorry, Miss Dickinson, but if you are nobody, then what does that make me? Alone and enraged and in love and in possession of a pen, an individual among individuals who preach difference but are all the same. Am I the same as you? Am I nobody too? Reeves, it has been a pleasure watching you grow into your abilities. Thank you for letting us into your world. We are honored to award you with the 2016 Poetry Prize. Congratulations.
Mrs. Martha S. Clisby will now present the Sykes Mathematics Prize.
The Sykes Mathematics Prize is awarded every year to the student who displays not only talent for math, but also curiosity, courage, and generosity. The winner of this year's Sykes Mathematics Prize is Patrick Chin. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Hide not your talents, for use they were made. For what's a sundial in the shade?" Albert Einstein said, "The important thing is to never stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." William Faulkner claimed that you cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. And Carol Brink believed that the most truly generous persons are those who give silently without hope of praise or reward. Is it mere coincidence that the initials of the authors of those quotes spell out Patrick Chien? No. First, mathematicians don't believe in coincidence. Second, I wrote this speech, so I chose the quotes deliberately. And third, they don't. They don't spell anything coherent. But these quotes do describe all of Patrick's qualifications for this award. He's clearly a talented math student, having exhausted our math curriculum and scoring 5s on his AB and BC calculus exams. Statistically speaking, I imagine he's on pace to do the same for his statistics AP. Patrick is curious. It's what inspires him to dive into any math problem. Not only does he want to find the answer, he wants to see if he can find the answer. Patrick is courageous. He is undaunted by challenges, but rather inspired by them. But most importantly, Patrick is generous with his time, his airtime. Sure, he's a student tutor. He teaches people math. But Patrick's real generosity is in knowing the solution to every math problem, but letting someone else answer instead. Where others fill space and time with their questions and solutions, Patrick makes space for others to do so. I'd like to end with a quote by a person who actually does have Patrick's initials and seems quite fitting for the recipient of this award. "If you try to love math, math will love you back." Patrick Chien, 2016.
Miss Eve M. Whitehouse will now present the Clark Language Prize.
The Clark Prize. The Clark Language Prize is given in memory of Margaret and Renee Clark, French teachers from 1954 to 1973 at Millbrook. It is awarded to the graduate who has demonstrated excellence in modern language in areas that were the hallmarks of the Clark's teaching: oral proficiency and cross-cultural understanding. It was first given in 1985. I'd like to invite Oliver Cohen to join me on stage. These words are written by John McMullen, Ollie's Spanish teacher for literature this year. Oliver's laconic participation in Spanish class this year belies a lively wit and intelligent insight. His understanding of Spanish literature is instinctive. He expresses himself in a precise and concise Spanish, never far from the truth of an author's intent. He has a broad interest in the history and politics of the Spanish-speaking world, which surprises and delights. He has contributed succinctly to the Spanish classroom, but mightily. Congratulations, Ollie.
Mr. Matthew R. Dilly will now present the Frank W. Trevor Cup, followed by the Science Prize.
The Frank W. Trevor Cup is awarded to a member of the graduating class who has made the most significant contributions through study, project, or zoo work to the natural sciences and environmental stewardship at the Millbrook School. It is with great pleasure that the Science Department awards Sophia Hartman with this year's Trevor Cup. I won't speak for that long. Consider this. Sophia is a student who has already started her career. A career which promises to be enriching, meaningful, and impactful. Sophia's work in the Trevor Zoo led her to spend a summer studying the numerical abilities of lemurs at the Duke University Lemur Center. This experience inspired her to research the same topic with the lemurs in the Trevor Zoo for the Science Independent Research class. Sophia began her senior year by touring 2 world-renowned scientists at Millbrook School's Trevor Zoo. Afterwards, she was able to engage them during a class period in advanced biology, as well as at a dinner reception with her independent research classmates. Sophia showed her characteristic approach to learning, as she was inquisitive, thoughtful, and genuine. She had prepared extensively for these events, which showed in the depth of conversations she was able to initiate and sustain. This example demonstrates Sophia's extended intellectual commitment. She's driven not merely by the expectations of her courses, but by an innate sense of curiosity, passion, and service. Her excitement for learning is palpable, profound, sincere, and lasting. Sophia has a clear and purposeful vision for her career aspirations and is well underway in her pursuit of those goals. Please join me in congratulating Sophia Hartman on earning the 2016 Frank W. Trevor Cup. The Science Prize is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated achievement, curiosity, and creative thinking in exploring scientific concepts, whose enthusiasm has acted as a catalyst in furthering scientific understanding and dialogue, and who clearly strives for excellence in all science disciplines. It is with great pleasure that the Science Department awards Alex Chalk with this year's Science Prize. For Alex, it's personal. For most, it's easy to dismiss science as a subject matter separate from our lives. The formulae, vocabulary, graphs, and data can appear totally impersonal to the uninitiated. However, the Science Department's experience of Alex has always been that it all relates to his life. It matters to him. Whether it be talking about a current event as a third form student in my physics class, or in the community service he helped create. Alex is perpetually finding ways to connect what he's learned to other pieces of knowledge or his own experience. As an advanced biology student, Alex would consolidate his notes from each class into a new notebook. But this new version would be enriched with hand-drawn color diagrams. You see, Alex knew that his nightly ritual would encode this information more deeply than just in his cerebral cortex. It would have connections to deeper emotional centers of his own brain because it gave him joy. He was lovingly making art out of the knowledge he was constructing. Long before he was a biology student, Alex spent hours looking through his microscope at worlds unseen to the rest of us. He would photograph particularly beautiful formations of cells and tiny structures and excitedly show them off to me in moments before physics class. To his credit, Alex never neglected one passion at the expense of another. Rather, he would merge them. This can be seen in the stunning 4x7 foot composite photographs he produced of the wing of a butterfly and the feather of a bird hanging a mask. His passion and talent took flight in the independent research class this year. His research involved the meticulous cataloging of literally thousands of bacterial colonies to paint a picture of Millbrook's microbiome. Alex, it's been my pleasure to be your teacher and advisor. I'll miss our meandering chats and the shared thrill we experience at each revelation that science provides. Please join me in congratulating Alex Chalk on winning the 2016 Science Prize.
Mr. Mark A. Clisby will now present the Blaine History Essay Prize.
The Blaine Essay Prize is awarded each year to the sixth former who writes the best essay in a senior elective, and the History Department this year identified 5 essays as finalists. They were written by Sienna Buffa, Tori Merkel, Jason Sheldon, David Yu, and Patrick Chien. And this year our outside reader, who was a professor, Carl Lindholm of Middlebury College, identified Patrick Chien as the winner of the Blaine Essay Prize. Will you other 4 stand where you are, please? Listen, we all need to stop and think a little. Those of us who are United States citizens have some important decisions to make pretty much now. And the choices that we make will matter to people all over the world. We need to make those decisions based on actual fact, not on what we prefer to be true or what we find lying around the interweb. We need to be able to interpret those facts rationally and then form those interpretations into sound conclusions. And finally, we need to be able to communicate those conclusions to each other reasonably and clearly enough that they're useful to us to make the decisions that we all need to make. I can't say that I'm confident that everyone is able to do that, but I know that many of our students can, and I'm certain that these 5 people have. They wrote Blaine essays on matters of politics, culture, religion, matters that are central to the human existence, not just the American experience. I would note parenthetically that 2 of these 5 are not American citizens, but that does not diminish the value of their contributions to our conversation in the least. Sienna Buffa, Jason Sheldon, David Yu, Tori Merkel, and Patrick Chien proved that they have the curiosity, discipline, determination, and ability to do what we need to get done together, now. Patrick's paper in particular can serve as a lesson to us all. He wrote about ways in which Chinese citizens have pushed their government to make changes in environmental policy necessary to protect their families, their property, and their planet. Patrick won the Blaine Essay Prize this year not only because he wrote a cogent, well-executed essay, but because he demonstrated through his own actions and through the actions of those he wrote about how an individual can make a difference in the world. Patrick and the other Blaine finalists deserve our praise, but also our thanks. So congratulations on a job well done, Patrick, and thank you.
The Reverend Cameron R. Hardy will now present the Roosevelt Prize.
It is said of Emily Roosevelt, Millbrook class of 1987, that empathy, inquisitiveness, courage, and determination defined her daily life. Her drive to serve took many forms in her professional life as a lawyer and in her private life, most significantly in working with the Department of the Interior for public land issues and as an advocate for organ donors, as she herself was a recipient of a new heart several years ago. When Emily died suddenly in 2010, her parents, Chris and Roddy Roosevelt, determined that the best way to remember Emily is to recognize and encourage inquisitiveness, determination, and public service in students attending Emily's alma mater. The Emily Roosevelt Public Service Prize is now established and awarded by the faculty to a member of the sixth form who best exemplifies public service. There were 2 nominees from the class of 2016 this year, and the Roosevelt Prize Committee felt that each was equally but in different ways engaged significantly in public service, and so we decided to award this prize to both of them. Would Alex Chalk and Ariana Montenegro please come to the stage? In Alex's chapel talk this year, he told the inspiring story of his work with the NGO SHED, the Society for Health and Educational Development based in Assam, India, to where Alex and his family have traveled over several summers. SHED is an agency of public service in and of itself. However, through Alex's vision and desire, he created a program using photography and website design to collaborate with the people of Assam involved with and beneficiaries of SHED. His sustained efforts with SHED will continue while he is in college and beyond. And speaking of beyond, we have Alex with his buddy, the other Alex, to thank for raising consciousness about life beyond the brook. It was the Alex's brainchild and one of the first student-created community services offered in a very long time. But Alex's spirit of public service also has a very local application, so local it can only be seen under a microscope. Microbiomes was the subject of Alex's independent research, an investigation of the chemical interplay of bacterial cells and how this interplay results in resistance to diseases. You might wonder what this has to do with public service. Not only does Alex's study of cell ecosystems contribute to ongoing research in public health, think Zika virus, he also has figured out ways to creatively raise consciousness about this aspect of public health. He has developed a Photoshop color key for use in identifying bacteria and created beautiful photographs, which Mr. Daly just noted, of microscopic images which he has given to the Hamilton Mass Gallery for all of us to ponder and enjoy. While Alex quietly goes about his work engaging his head and heart, Ariana, well, we know Ariana. She is all about the heart, expressing her care for others and her passions very openly. However, you may not know about her work in public service because she has engaged with it without fanfare at home in Washington Heights, where growing up she really cared about school and the community her teachers and classmates provided for her. And therefore, she feels acutely the need for all children to have teachers who care about school. When she is at home, Ariana has volunteered at PS 8 School in Manhattan, at the Children Aid Society in the preschool program called JUMP, where she worked with underprivileged kids with behavior issues and was and is still highly regarded by the teachers and counselors in the program. In addition to JUMP, she has volunteered for the summer months at a similar program in Chelsea. When she went back to Ecuador after her third form year, she spent much of her time tutoring English in an institute in addition to visiting with her extended family. As for the Ariana of Millbrook, to quote her advisor, she is very aware of her identity as a Latina immigrant and raises consciousness by being unafraid to be who she is and who she is discovering herself to be in this community and beyond. She was the only student of color in Mr. Clisby's class in dissent and continually brought up issues around race and ethnicity, and her CES expressed her curiosity about the human experience of telling authentic stories based on the work of playwright Anna Devere Smith. Through a variety of voices and with her heart, her determination, and authenticity, Ariana connected with and has given selflessly to her community at home, here at Millbrook, and her birth home, and helped us all to gain insight into the lives of others. We thank you both, Alex and Ariana, for your work, and on behalf of the faculty, I offer you my heartfelt congratulations as recipients of the 2016 Emily Roosevelt Prize for Public Service. Come back up.
I thought we were done. Guess not.
Thank you.
Mr. Drew J. Casertano will now present the Headmaster's Merit Awards, followed by the Class of 1978 Award.
The citation for the Headmaster's Merit Award reads, "To that senior whose personal strengths and contributions merit special recognition." Tonight there are 4 sixth formers whose strengths and contributions merit special recognition: Will Bliss, Isabella Bucciolati, Sienna Buffa, and Alex Waddles. Please come forward. These 4 have all the titles of leadership. Each one was elected as a prefect. Each was selected to serve as a dorm leader. All have been asked to help and create and care for a healthy student culture. They've accepted the mantle of leadership with commitment, skill, good humor, humility, courage, and song. Easy for me to describe, truly hard to do on a daily basis. Their candor, caring, and again, courage have much to do with the success of this year and our managing its challenges. It is my great pleasure to thank Alex, Isabella, Sienna, and Will with the Headmaster's Merit Award. The Class of 1978 Award. A bit of history. In 1978, Millbrook was in tough shape. Enrollment was low and morale even lower. The school desperately needed someone to rise up, to build enthusiasm, to make the best of the situation. The Class of 1978 did just that, and this award, named in their honor, celebrates that person whose contributions in his or her own style reflect the energy and the accomplishments of the Class of 1978. Specifically, it is presented to a member of the sixth form whose spirit and enthusiasm have significantly enhanced the traditions of Millbrook School. By vote of the faculty, this year the Class of 1978 award is given to Daniel Correa. Daniel is a prefect, a dorm leader, and a team captain. He has handled all of these responsibilities with impressive discipline, determination, and maturity. And that is not why he was elected by my colleagues to receive this important award. Instead, it goes something like this. We're in assembly on Monday or Friday, and a person making announcements says, "I need a volunteer to act silly, take a risk, make a fool of himself." And inevitably, this happens. Then Daniel takes a risk, acts silly, all for the morale of the community. Or a flag football game needs a play-by-play announcer. Daniel is at the mic. Or the improv squad requests audience participation. Daniel leaps to the stage. Or we need more energy from the fans during a basketball and Ray Gymnasium. You guessed it. There's Dan pumping up the crowd. As a prefect, dorm leader, and team captain, Daniel has been a culture creator and keeper. As the ultimate campus cheerleader, Daniel has been a morale booster of the highest order. And I should add that he's pretty smooth on the dance floor as well. I'm delighted and honored to acknowledge and thank him with the Class of 1978 award.
Miss Jarrett R. Clark will now read the senior honor roll.
I will now read the names of all the sixth formers who are named to the year-end honor roll. Sixth formers, when I call your name, please stand and remain standing. I ask that everyone hold their applause until the end. Grace Addison, Tom Ahn, Bree Babiars, Will Bliss, Leisha Bluestone, Isabella Bucciolati, Alessandro Bucciolati, Sienna Buffa, Trevor Burt, Jamie Carnavalla, Leah Casadesos, Alex Chalk, Ollie Cohen, Andrew Colangelo, Sarah Dietrich, Ian Drury, Sam Everts, George Flynn, Julia Freund, Jordan Green, Andy Guan, Maggie Guo, Taylor Ham, Sophia Hartman, Brandon Hune, Owen Johansson, Kieran Kennedy, Oliver Kish, Elida Koenigsberger, Peter Canitas, Jillian Coop, Matthew Creda, Jackson Lee, Andrew Loper, Massimo Luciani, Brett Malinowski, Carter Malleolo, Kelsey McAvoy, Arthur Meadowcroft, Noah Badalsi, Tori Merkel, Reeves Milbank, Danny Mitchell, Ariana Montenegro, Connor Morrisroe, Luca Piccolo, Patrick Tien, Heidi Rice, Jenny Richardson, Abby Sanford, Tyler Schmalz, Gavin Schneibel, Isabel Seaborn, Jason Sheldon, Ignace Slika, Alex Vann, Ryan Walsh, Alex Waddles, Jason Way, Carly Weigold, Peter Weld, Emma Westerman, and David Yu. Congratulations.
Before we close with announcements, I want to ask for your help in wishing farewell and Godspeed to members of the Millbrook faculty who, like the seniors, will leave us at the end of this year. Please hold your applause until I'm finished with these comments. Anna Birnbaum, Thomas Brown, Christine Dilley, Brendan Fitzgerald, Thomas Labetti, Vince Vincent, and Ryan Wagner will pursue new adventures and opportunities. Following a successful career in business and 15 years at Millbrook School, Somerset Waters is retiring. Always eager for new challenges and in search of warm temperatures, Liz Morrison is departing to serve as head of school at the Antilles School on St. Thomas, Virgin Island. The students and faculty there don't know how lucky they are. This will be Rick McWilliams' 40th commencement and his last, as he concludes his exceptional service to Millbrook. Among the ways we will express our heartfelt thanks to Rick is by naming the soccer field in his honor, with more to come during Alumni Weekend and at our honors dinner for faculty and staff. Tonight, please join me in thanking our departing colleagues and Somerset, Liz, and Rick most especially.